Hi, I'm Wyland, Artist of the Sea. This is my studio in Laguna Beach, California. And Laguna Beach has a long history of being an art colony. And I moved here in the late 70s to start my art career. But today I want to talk to all the artists out there about not being a starving artist. So if you're watching this show, this is Wyland's Art Studio on PBS. The simple truth is, you don't have to be an angry bohemian artist. That never really felt right. I think being an artist is one of the coolest gigs on the planet. It is the greatest job you can have, really. And in the 21st century, you know, it's the best time in history to be an artist because you can actually make a living. I mean, people around the world are interested in art, but you need to be smart. You need to dedicate yourself to your craft and be a professional artist. Okay, just the fact that you are an artist is incredible right there. Just be really, happy that you have that gift. It's up to you how far you go with it. I always talk to young people and I say, if you're doing what you love in life, you've reached the pinnacle of success. It's not about how much money you make. I think it's about doing what really drives your passion. If you do what you love to do, you're going to be successful. And how much success you have is entirely up to you. But I'm going to give you some tips how I became a successful artist. First of all, I always felt I was successful because, I sold paintings from the time I was in junior high school. In fact, the art teachers used to allow me to take my paintings and have art exhibitions right there in the lobby at my school, Page Junior High School. And in high school, I continued that. And my whole life, I've done a body of work, and at least 2-3 times a year, I had an art exhibition, and I invited people that were interested in the art that I was painting. I also believe I was an artist that was in the right place at the right time, and as the environmental movement grew in the early 70s, I was an artist that was, right there and heard the call for conservation, from the first Earth Day in 1970, and then Jacques Cousteau, who was a great influence on my art. All these things encouraged me to use my art to raise awareness about issues regarding conservation of our planet. So that was kind of my edge, and I was very serious about it. I felt strongly that art could play a very important role. So I've been kind of immersing myself in nature, in the ocean. I'm a diver. I spent a lot of time underwater studying my subjects and getting close to big animals, big sharks and giant manta rays and great whales. But really, it's kind of a lifestyle brand that I created. I really didn't know what a brand was, but I got to tell you, artists, if you're watching this, consider yourself a brand, and everything you do for your brand to promote it and bring it up higher, and the cause behind it is a great investment. Because if Coca-Cola can be a brand, you can be a brand. Why should an artist be a brand? So look at yourself like that, and you'll always treat yourself the right way. And the things that you do will either support your brand or diminish it. So you really want to be aware of that. So, branding today and is a great thing. And so don't think that you're just an artist and you can't be a brand, but you need to think like a brand, okay? And the one thing that I always thought is, try not to compete against other artists. Compete against yourself to be the best artist you can be. Always work very hard to kind of evolve your technique, your style, your subject matter. And that's what I've been doing my whole life, just trying to be a better artist. But get with other artists you admire. Like I admire Robert Bateman. He's my favorite wildlife artist. I became friends with him. He wrote the foreword to my first book, The Art of Wyland. So get out there and network with people. I know, not all of you are kind of like me, outgoing, not a shy artist, but be a whole artist, Really, if you're not really good in front of the camera or good in front of the public, that's okay. You can get better. I remember when I was doing, some interviews when I was painting my first whaling walls, and I wasn't very good, and now I have this TV show on PBS, and Wyland's Art Studio. I also have done Discovery and all these other television, and now I'm making films. But it gets easier, trust me. So you need to promote yourself a little bit. The first thing you got to do is be a great artist, and to do that you just need to work at it. People come to me and say, hey, Wyland, how did you become so successful? Well, it was hard work. I just worked harder than everybody else. A lot of the people would go to the beach every day, and that's cool. I mean, I admire you if you can do that. But I spent 12, 15 hours a day every day of my life, 7 days a week, trying to make my art better. And the one thing about being an artist too, I think you need to be very authentic about it. It needs to be authentic to who you are, and you as an artist and what message you're trying to convey. Maybe take a little time, back up, and come up with a business plan or a strategic plan, and try to look at yourself as a small, Walt Disney. Think big, use your vision, think about the subjects that you're passionate about. I'm passionate about animals and wildlife and nature. Maybe you're passionate about the rainforest. Whatever you're passionate about, maybe you're passionate about painting figures. Find your passion and let that drive your art to levels that are only set by you. I mean, you can get as famous as you want to. I don't think the famous part is good. I've purposely tried not to be famous because I think that kind of gets in the way. The main thing is do great art and great things will come. Project positive things out there in the universe. Put positive energy out there, and that'll draw to you. Also, artists should be united. I mean, it's a big struggle today. I mean, I'm looking at art education being taken out of schools today. That's unacceptable. Think about it. Our generation, we were fortunate. We had art classes, and our art teachers were great, most of them. And we're now looking at a whole generation that it may lose the opportunity to have art in their curriculum. And we need to all be united and ensure that kids, in America always have art, in their lives. Because if we take that out, we're taking out the right brain, the creative thinker. And I really don't know one person who is successful that didn't have art as a basic element in their life in some form. The things you can do today, you can develop your website, okay? And that can be your gallery, your kind of, gallery to the world. The whole world is interested in art and collecting art, supporting artists. There's so much opportunity. So you just need to learn everything you can and be creative with it. And that's what we artists do instinctively. We're creative people. But be smart too, okay? Go into art galleries and look at the art and let it inspire you. Go into art museums. But what I did is, and this was quite by accident, I used to sell my art in other galleries, and I remember I was in a gallery in Maui, and I would go there every winter to swim with humpback whales, and I would paint all winter, and I would leave probably 40 or 50 original canvases, oil paintings, and they would tell me, oh, it's slow here and this and that. And then I would go back and all my paintings had sold, and they said, well, we had a lot of overhead. So, sometimes the artists get a little frustrated there. But don't let that get you. What I thought is, why don't you just create your own space, your own gallery? So I have Wyland Studio galleries. This one that we're in right now is a fine art gallery below, up on top floor. This is my studio where I live and paint and work. And it's very efficient, but I would really recommend you think about having your own studio art gallery, okay? And if it's a live-work studio, that's even better because you have your office, you have your living space, you have your painting space, and then you also have a gallery where you can show your newest works and have shows. Invite people that are interested in your style of art. But that's really a great way to go because there's no middleman. You're it. And you know, you can work really hard when you're working for yourself, okay? And that's been very successful for me. I've done that my whole life, had little studio galleries and live work studios. The other way that I think is tremendous for artists is when you do a body of work, your very best ones, and they have to be your greatest pieces, okay? And then show them out there, show them at art festivals, and let a lot of people look at them, get a lot of input, and then start publishing your work. Only the great ones though, and do very small editions. So you got your internet gallery where you sell your originals, of course, and then now you have your publishing company, so you publish your own works of art. You control all of it, you know, the quality, the size, the edition, every aspect. You sign them. I'll tell you what, it's very empowering when an artist can control their own destiny. So I wish that for every artist. I wish that for you to take control of your own career and your art. You know, it's harder, I got to tell you, than just going to a straight job or just handing off to a gallery. And you can do both. You can give your art to great galleries, and you can have your own studio gallery. And you know, it's a lot to think about, but then again, if you're going to invest in anything, invest in yourself. And I've done that my whole life. And you can take small steps. You don't have to eat the whole elephant in one bite, okay? You can publish, you know, 1 or 2 pieces instead of, you know, 20 or 30. And you've got to kind of manage that. And maybe the editions are small in the beginning. You only sign and number 100, you know, prints. Okay, but as your collector base grows, maybe you do 200, you know, the next year. But and those collectors, by the way, your art collectors, you should treat them better than your family because they're genuinely interested in your art. So you always want to send them an invite to your show, an email. You want to always include them when you have a new piece, when you release a new piece. Okay, you want to, you know, make a lot of noise about it. You want to promote it and get out there and, you know, I say guerrilla the thing. Just go around and, you know, share it. Okay. The other great thing too is there's art festivals all over the nation, and they're amazing. And that's really where I really broke my career here in Laguna Beach. I did the art festival for about 13 years, and it was very successful. The one thing I can recommend, if you can do this, is set up your easel at the art festival and actually demonstrate. People love to watch artists paint. I know I do. And that's really why I do my show on public television, Wyland's Art Studio. People love to watch artists paint. So doing a live painting demonstration at an art festival, at your gallery, I mean, it's a great investment, and people will always remember that. Really dedicate yourself to being a professional artist. The opportunity has never been greater than today. I mean, it's a renaissance time for artists. All I can say is also, you know, get friendly with artists too. Instead of artists kind of biting each other and they're jealous because this one sold a painting for 200 grand. My God, a living artist sold a painting for 200 grand. Kiss the ground, send them flowers, whatever. A Snickers bar, something. Be happy because that means it's possible. I think they just sold a painting, The Scream, for over $100 million. That makes your art really valuable. You just did a big oil or an acrylic like this elephant here. Wow, little drawing, elephant. People are really interested in art today. They're really interested in artists that are coming up too. Now, I didn't want this to be too long. I just wanted you to know that you know, you really need to look at your whole career, okay? Whether you're a young artist just starting out or an artist that's really good and, you know, maybe my age but really hasn't kind of got the break, you got to give yourself the break. You got to invest in yourself, everything. Got to invest time, money, everything, and you got to be smart. You got to be really smart. Watch what's going on in the art trends. Promote yourself in the art magazines, local media. They're interested in art. Everybody is. So I say to you, artists, you know, just rededicate yourself, reinvent yourself. Just keep evolving your art. publish and share your art with the world, because the whole world is interested in your art. So good luck on your journey, and I'll be coming in from time to time to try to share with you how not to be a starving artist. So see you next time. Back to work on my elephant right here. Thanks, everybody. Cool.